Hi, girls. Good afternoon. Hi, Chung. Hi, Bernice.
Hi, teacher.
Hi,
How are you,
teacher.
Chung? How are you today, Chung?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
What did you? I'm very well, sweetie. Thank you. Today is my birthday.
Oh,
Yes.
happy birthday.
Thank you very much. So it's been a little bit busy in the morning because so it's morning for me. Everybody's texting me, sending me some wishes. But apart from that, it's good. Yesterday was very hot here in the UK. Today is much better. So now we can breathe. But Monday and Tuesday, they were horrible. It was super hot. Good. Chung, did you do anything fun today? Did you go to school, had some classes or something?
Yes, we have school and we have the practice of the competition.
What kind of competition?
Uh, I don't know how to talk.
You don't know how to say it. Okay, tell me, is it a sport or is it something else?
In sport.
It's a sport. Okay. What sport do you play? Like what's the what is the sport that it was taken into this competition, or it was like a tournament, a lot of teams?
Like the Olympic Games, but it is school.
Okay. All right, good. Interesting. Good. Did you participate?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. Okay, good, sweetie. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, Bernice. How are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm great. And happy birthday, teacher.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. How was your day today? What did you do today?
I just as usual, nothing special, but it's fine.
Okay. Went to school, came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. Esther, can you hear us?
Yes,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What did you do today?
I went to school and I have do the experiment today
2 experiments in which subject?
in biology.
Okay. Oh, in biology. All right, nice. Do you like biology?
Yes,
It's okay. We used to study biology as well when I was in primary school and then in secondary school as well. Okay, girls, thank you very much for that. So, Eroy is absent. I don't know if she's going to come. Hopefully, she will join us. However, last week, I didn't give you any homework, okay? But I asked you to just go through the book and see if there's something you don't know. Have you done that? Yes? Bernice says yes. Okay. Bernice, tell me, which part or what is it something that it's a little bit challenging or difficult for you?
Now nothing.
Nothing. So everything seems okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Chung, did you go through the book to see what is difficult?
I think
Nothing. Okay. Esther, how about you?
everything okay.
Everything is easy.
Uh, Normal.
Pardon? Say it again.
Not easy, but also not difficult.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, guys. Perfect. Good. So you know that we have like, let me double check the classes. We have one next week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 more classes. Okay. So we have 6 more classes. With today's class, we have 7 more classes to finish this book, right? So we're having 2 more units to complete. Today we're going to start unit 13, obviously, and we're going to do a little bit of speaking. As today I want us to circulate. I want each one of you to speak with a different partner, just because you need to feel comfortable before you go for your exam. So some of you decided to do the exam, others say, well, not now. However, it is up to you, right? It's up to you to decide if you want to do it or not. Anyway, I want us to leave the last class or the last 2 classes, basically, in August, so we can go through the material and practice everything again, which means we're going to practice the grammar and the speaking the most. However, before you do the exam, whichever, like if you decide to do the exam, we're going to do a little bit of reviewing within the writing part and with the speaking part. The rest of it, I think you're doing quite well. However, it still needs a little bit of time, you know, and some effort so you can practice with that. Now, as unit 13 is all about hobbies and stuff, I want to ask you, Jung, do you have a hobby?
My hobby is playing some sports.
Okay, good. How often do you do your hobby?
Every day.
Every day. Okay, good. Bernice, how about you? Do you have a hobby?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's your hobby?
Listen to music.
Listening to music.
Listening to music.
Okay, good. What kind of music do you like to listen to?
R&B and
R&B. And
pop.
and pop. Good. Thank you. Esther, how about you? Do you have a hobby?
Yes, I do.
What's your hobby?
Listening to music and reading.
Okay, perfect. Good. So listening to music is obviously very important because it relaxes your brain. It makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, relaxed, stress-free, and also you can dance. So it's an extra movement you can do. On the other side, if you're listening to English music, you can improve your English and so on. Okay, we're going to start with a little listening task. Let me send you the link. It's about hobbies. Before we open our book, so if you can please open your link that I sent it to you in the chat box. Okay, so we're going to hear, let me just remove this. We're going to hear a couple of students, Mateo, Hannah, Christopher, Samantha, Andrew, and Grace. They like different kind of things. However, you need to hear what things do they like. And you just need to put the letter next to their names. So let's play it.
Exam practice test 2, listening part 5. Now look at part 5. For each question, choose the correct answer. Look at questions 21 to 25 now. You have 15 seconds.
Mum, you know Mateo?
Yes?
He's got a new hobby. He's really interested in horror films and he wants to see every one that was made in the last 10 years.
Wow! And what's your best friend Hannah's hobby?
She plays the guitar in a rock group. I took some photos of them last week.
Let's see. Great! What about Christopher? What does he do?
He's so clever. He went on a climbing holiday in Spain, so he's studying Spanish now. And he's having conversation classes in Arabic too.
And Samantha? Is she still interested in building model planes?
She gave them all to her little brother. She goes to a special club at the swimming pool And now she can use the board that's 2 meters high.
Fantastic. What about Andrew?
He's always in a play at school. He likes playing a bad guy.
Really? Has Grace got a hobby?
Yes, you can see an exhibition of her pictures in the school hall next week. I think her best one's of her dad climbing a mountain.
Great.
Now listen again.
Mum, you know Matteo?
Yes?
He's got a new hobby. He's really interested in horror films and he wants to see every one that was made in the last 10 years.
Wow. And what's your best friend Hannah's hobby?
She plays the guitar in a rock group. I took some photos of them last week.
Let's see. Great. What about Christopher? What does he do?
He's so clever. He went on a climbing holiday in Spain, so he's studying Spanish now. And he's having conversation classes in Arabic too.
And Samantha? Is she still interested in building model planes?
She gave them all to her little brother. She goes to a special club at the swimming pool, and now she can use the board that's 2 meters high.
Fantastic. What about Andrew?
He's always in a play at school. He likes playing a bad guy.
Really? Has Grace got a hobby?
Yes, you can see an exhibition of her pictures in the school hall next week. I think her best one's of her dad climbing a mountain.
Great.
Mum, you know Matteo?
Yes?
He's got a new hobby. He's really interested in horror films and he wants to see every one that was made in the last 10 years.
Wow. And what's your best friend Hannah's hobby?
She plays the guitar in a rock group. I took some photos of them last week.
Let's see. Great. What about Christopher? What does he do?
He's so clever. He went on a climbing holiday in Spain, so he's studying Spanish now. And he's having conversation classes in Arabic too.
And Samantha? Is she still interested in building model planes?
She gave them all to her little brother. She goes to a special club at the swimming pool, and now she can use the board that's 2 meters high.
Fantastic. What about Andrew?
He's always in a play at school. He likes playing a bad guy.
Really? Has Grace got a hobby?
Yes, you can see an exhibition of her pictures in the school hall next week. I think her best one's of her dad climbing a mountain.
Great.
Okay, so
That is the end of part 5.
all right. So if you have the answers, please submit it so we can see how did we do. Okay. Just waiting for Esther.
Teacher,
Yes, sweetie, what happened?
can you send the link one time?
One more time, yeah, okay. Bernice and Chung, we can see those are not the correct answers. Okay, you know what I want you to do before I play it one more time? So take a piece of paper, or if you have notebook next to you, take a pencil. When you're going to hear what they're talking about, first write the names, okay? So you were having, for example, a couple of names, Matteo, Hannah, Christopher, Samantha, Andrew, Grace. Next to the name, write what are they doing. Then try to match them, okay? Let's do this. This is a little bit easier. So write the names on a piece of paper or in your notebook. And we're going to play it again. You ready? All right, let's play it again.
Exam practice test 2, listening part 5. Now look at part 5. For each question, choose the correct answer. Look at questions 21 to 25 now. You have 15 seconds.
Mum, you know Matteo?
Yes?
He's got a new hobby. He's really interested in horror films and he wants to see every one that was made in the last 10 years.
Wow! And what's your best friend Hannah's hobby?
She plays the guitar in a rock group. I took some photos of them last week.
Let's see. Great! What about Christopher? What does he do?
He's so clever. He went on a climbing holiday in Spain, so he's studying Spanish now. And he's having conversation classes in Arabic too.
And Samantha? Is she still interested in building model planes?
She gave them all to her little brother. She goes to a special club at the swimming pool, and now she can use the board that's 2 meters high.
Fantastic! What about Andrew?
He's always in a play at school. He likes playing a bad guy.
Really? Has Grace got a hobby?
Yes. You can see an exhibition of her pictures in the school hall next week. I think her best one's of her dad climbing a mountain.
Great!
Now listen again.
Mum, you know Matteo?
Yes?
He's got a new hobby. He's really interested in horror films and he wants to see every one that was made in the last 10 years.
Wow! And what's your best friend Hannah's hobby?
She plays the guitar in a rock group. I took some photos of them last week.
Let's see. Great! What about Christopher? What does he do?
He's so clever. He went on a climbing holiday in Spain, so he's studying Spanish now. And he's having conversation classes in Arabic too.
And Samantha? Is she still interested in building model planes?
She gave them all to her little brother. She goes to a special club at the swimming pool, and now she can use the board that's 2 meters high.
Fantastic! What about Andrew?
He's always in a play at school. He likes playing a bad guy.
Really? Has Grace got a hobby?
Yes. You can see an exhibition of her pictures in the school hall next week. I think her best one's of her dad climbing a mountain.
Great!
Mum, you know Matteo?
Yes?
He's got a new hobby. He's really interested in horror films and he wants to see every one that was made in the last 10 years.
Wow! And what's your best friend Hannah's hobby?
She plays the guitar in a rock group. I took some photos of them last week.
Let's see. Great! What about Christopher? What does he do?
He's so clever. He went on a climbing holiday in Spain, so he's studying Spanish now. And he's having conversation classes in Arabic too.
And Samantha? Is she still interested in building model planes?
She gave them all to her little brother. She goes to a special club at the swimming pool, and now she can use the board that's 2 meters high.
Fantastic! What about Andrew?
He's always in a play at school. He likes playing a bad guy.
Really? Has Grace got a hobby?
Yes. You can see an exhibition of her pictures in the school hall next week. I think her best one's of her dad climbing a mountain.
Great!
So as you can see on the side over here, I put some notes, whatever I've heard. Now, this is what I've heard, but I want to see what are your answers now. So if you can submit it, because I think this way is a little bit better. But let's see what you've done. Okay. Building models, okay. Yes, with Mateo, I'm a little bit confused as well, guys, but it's good that you have the rest of the answers correct, because for Mateo, they mentioned that he likes to watch horror movies, but we don't have that option over here. So that's why I'm going to take that everything is correct from you, okay? But this way is much better when you are, okay, this is much better, much easier when you write down the names and then you just hear what they're saying and then you write like a word or two, and after that try to match them, because this helps a lot. But okay, well done, perfect, good job. Okay, so everybody has different kind of hobbies. Some people like hobbies that are a little bit unusual. Other people like something that it's a little bit maybe passive, maybe not that active. For example, I am a person who doesn't really like sport to play. However, I like to watch football on TV. So sport is not really my thing. I've never played games in my life because I don't like playing games. That's just not me. Sometimes I'm going to play like a board game like chess or backgammon, but that's hardly ever. Those are not my things. However, I do like to listen to music and I do like to watch some movies. Sometimes I like to read a book. Other times I like to do some yoga. We're all different. So whatever you like to do is obviously very important for you and for your body, because we're doing these things or hobbies because they're relaxing us and we can do something that we enjoy. It's going to produce our happy hormones to be even more happier than before. So sometimes when you feel a little bit low, you can just do something that you really love and your mood will change. However, within these pictures over here, which is on page 92, we're having different kind of students and they like different kind of things. Let's start with picture A. Bernice, tell me about this girl with picture A. What is her hobby?
Snowboarding.
Snowboarding, okay. Do you think snowboarding is fun?
Yes.
Have you ever tried it?
No, because Malaysia just one season.
Because you don't have snow, so it's difficult for you to have this opportunity to practice in the snow. Okay, good. Jung, how about picture B? What are the boys doing? What is their hobby?
Game.
They're playing games. Very well. Do you like playing games?
Yes, of course.
Okay. How often do you play games?
Once a week.
Once a week. Very well. Good job. Esther, how about picture C?
Swimming.
Okay. Do you think this is fun hobby, interesting hobby?
No.
No, why not?
I think it is not interesting.
You think it's boring, maybe?
Yes,
Yeah? Okay. Esther, your voice is a little bit different than before. Are you okay? Are you having a cold or something?
I use my phone because my computer has some problem.
Ah, okay, maybe that's why. Yeah, because I noticed your voice is a little bit different. Okay, no problem, sweetie. That's okay. Okay, so we have A, B, C. How about picture D, Bernice?
Doing puzzle.
Okay, doing puzzles or Sudoku. Have you ever played Sudoku?
Yes.
Do you think it's easy?
Yes, it's easy.
It's easy, okay. I don't think so. It's not very easy for me though, but okay. Chung, how about picture E?
Making jewelry.
Jewelry, making jewelry.
Making jewelry.
Jewelry, okay. What is jewelry, sweetie? Where do we wear that? What is jewelry? Rings, earrings, necklaces. We call them with one word, jewelry. Okay, we're gonna do another listening. Just to start with, I just want you to listen. Do nothing, just see as many information as you can get. Listen to a teacher asking Natasha about her hobbies. What were her hobbies when she was younger? What are her hobbies now? And what hobby would she like to try? So I'm going to play it for you. And after that, I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. So you don't have to write anything. Let me see. 76.
Unit 13. Starting off. Exercise 3.
So, Natasha, tell me about your hobbies. Do you like computer games, for example?
I played a lot of computer games until I was about 10, but I haven't played any for a long time.
What do you do now?
I prefer doing things outside, activities like climbing and snowboarding.
Is there anything you haven't tried but would like to?
I'd love to go sailing, but Dad says it's very expensive.
Okay, so what were Natasha's hobbies when she was younger? Bernice.
Playing computer games.
Okay, thank you. Chung, what are her hobbies now? What does she like to do now?
Go out.
Pardon?
Go out.
I'm sorry, sweetie, I cannot hear you very well.
Going out.
I'm sorry, I cannot understand you. Can you send me a message, please? Go out. Going out. Okay, good. And Esther, what hobby would she like to try?
Go sailing.
Okay. So when we talk about hobbies, hobbies can change during your years, okay? So maybe there is something you like to do now, but maybe next year you're just not gonna like it. You're gonna like to do something else. And that is absolutely fine. When I was probably your age, maybe even younger than that, I've tried different kind of sports. I did tennis, I did basketball, I did football, but I didn't find myself within that. I did handball as well. It just wasn't for me, so I stopped. However, I think everyone should try different kind of activities to see whatever is good for them. Yeah, because maybe there is something you would like to do. Maybe you're thinking, okay, so my friends are dancing, for example. I don't dance, let me try and dance. Am I going to like it? Right? But you have to try and see if that works for you. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. We're having a couple of sentences over here. Make it bigger. So each of them has a different way of saying these things. For example, I'll text you. You can say, I'll send you a message. How about the rest of them? What can we say for the second one, for example? There were too many people on the bus. What can we say about this? The bus was maybe too crowded. Okay, I'm gonna let you a couple of minutes so you can write down different ways of saying these things. So for example, for the first one, you already have it. For the second one, there were too many people on the bus, or you can say the bus was too crowded. Okay, so you have two examples. I want you to do 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we will check them out.
International caller. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing.
All right, perfect. So let's start with number 3. Bernice, can you tell us? I did the puzzle in just over 10 minutes.
I finished the puzzle in 10 minutes.
Okay, we can say that. I finished the puzzle. We can say in about 10 minutes. Okay, good job. Chung, number 4 for you. I went to the cinema.
What movie did you watch?
Pardon, sweetie, say it again.
What movie did you watch?
I'm sorry, sweetie, I don't understand you. Please send me a message. You made a question, but you shouldn't make a question. You just need to paraphrase it, basically to have the same meaning, but with other words. So let's say for this one, we can say, I watched a movie. Esther, number 5, I'll give you writing lessons.
I will teach you how to write.
Bravo, good job. I will teach you how to write. Okay. Bernice, back to you. My helmet wasn't big enough.
This helmet doesn't fit me.
Okay, this helmet doesn't fit me. You can say that. Yeah, you can say that. This helmet doesn't fit me. Okay, and Chung, the last one for you. I'm getting much better at snowboarding.
Practice make perfect.
Not really. Bernice, what do you have for number 7?
I have improved in snowboarding.
Yes, I have improved in snowboarding. We can say that. Good. So I have improved in snowboarding. Yes, absolutely. You can say that. Good. So sometimes, for example, when you need to say a story about something, you're not supposed to use the same exact words, but you need to paraphrase. Now, to paraphrase means to say something. If you can look it over here, this one. To say something that has been said or written in a different way. I'll send you a message. It's a paraphrase of I'll text you. So basically, you need to get the same meaning. However, you need to use slightly different words. And this is how we paraphrase it. Let's say sometimes you're reading a book and you have to say something about the book. You're not supposed to use the same words that were said in the book. However, you need to paraphrase it. Okay, that's perfect. Let's clear this up. Now, we are having some questions over here. First of all, the questions are, I think there are 5. Yes. Okay, so these are 5 questions. I'm going to let you read the questions and focus on the keywords. We're saying underline the keywords. When did Rich start writing? What is important here? Start writing. So we're searching for information that is about start writing. Now we need to know if it's 2 years, 2 weeks ago, earlier today, last month. Then in the second question, Rich thought his first lesson was. First lesson, okay? And you need to see what were his thoughts. Was it boring? Was it too short? Or was it difficult? So the key words over here will be first lesson. Over here, start writing. What did Jess have to borrow at her first writing lesson? Borrow, first lesson. Jess says her teacher was. Teacher is the key line. We want to know how is the teacher? How is the teacher being, right? What does Rich plan to do in the future? Plan, future. These are the key words. Before you do a listening task, you need to search for the keywords. What kind of information you're actually required to do so. Okay, I'm going to play it for you. 1 second, 78. Okay, so I'm going to play it twice. You just listen about Rich and circle the correct answers. 1 second.
Unit 13. Listening. Part 3. Exercise 2. A.
I'll teach you to ride.
B. Unit 13. Listening. Part 3. Exercise 4.
For each question, choose the correct answer. You will hear Rich talking to his friend Jess about horse riding.
Hi, Rich. I hear you're having horse riding lessons.
Yes, we'll be able to go riding together.
Great! When did you start?
I saw an advert about a month ago, so Mum phoned the place and we visited last week. But I only had my first lesson this morning.
How was it?
All we did was brush the horses. It wasn't difficult, but I wanted to ride. I hope the next lesson will be more interesting.
I remember my first lesson. I got a riding hat as a birthday present, plus boots and trousers, so I had lots of things. But my friend's mum had to lend me her jacket because it was so cold that day.
What was your teacher like?
She won a lot of prizes for horse riding, but I don't think she really knew how to teach us, and she wasn't always fun. But I kept going, and now I love riding.
That's my plan. My friend wants me to start tennis lessons, but I like this better, and I want to ride with you one day. So...
Okay, I'm going to play it one more time. Now, if you have some of the answers, make sure you're checking if they're correct. And if you have something wrong, just fix it.
Unit 13. Listening. Part 3. Exercise 4.
For each question, choose the correct answer. You will hear Rich talking to his friend Jess about horse riding.
Hi, Rich. I hear you're having horse riding lessons.
Yes, we'll be able to go riding together.
Great! When did you start?
I saw an advert about a month ago,
So Mum phoned the place and we visited last week. But I only had my first lesson this morning.
How was it?
All we did was brush the horses. It wasn't difficult, but I wanted to ride. I hope the next lesson will be more interesting.
I remember my first lesson. I got a riding hat as a birthday present, plus boots and trousers, so I had lots of things. But my friend's mum had to lend me her jacket because it was so cold that day.
What was your teacher like?
She won a lot of prizes for horse riding, but I don't think she really knew how to teach us, and she wasn't always fun. But I kept going, and now I love riding.
That's my plan. My friend wants me to start tennis lessons, but I like this better, and I want to ride with you one day. So...
Okay, so let's start with the first one. When did Rich start riding, Bernice?
Earlier today.
Earlier today, okay. Do we agree with this answer? That's the correct answer. Very well. Esther, number 2. Rich thought his first lesson was?
A bit boring.
A bit boring. Good. Do we agree with this answer? That's the correct answer. Chung, number 3. What did Jess have to borrow at her first riding lesson?
A jacket.
A jacket. Very well. Good job. Do we agree? Cool. Bernice, Jess says her teacher was?
An excellent rider.
An excellent rider. Good one. And Esther, what does Rich plan to do in the future?
Keep going to riding lessons.
Perfect. Keep going to riding lessons. Very well. Was this one easy? So it's much easier when you underline the key words or the important words that will help you to choose the correct answer. So always do this. And also when you're doing reading tests as well, like if you had a text to read and then choose the correct answer, underline the important words. Okay, this will help you a lot. If you're just reading the question and then you try to find the answer, most likely you will make a kind of a mistake. So it's important for you to find the keywords only first. All right, perfect. Riding horses. I've actually never ridden a horse, but I always wanted to. However, I think now I'm too old to do so. But I think it's a good sport. It's a very elegant sport, and you know, all like queens and princesses and kings, they will have horses. So they like to ride. It's kind of a posh activity that you can do. But not everyone likes that. We're having over here a blog about Ben. Now, before we read the blog, because we're going to talk a little bit about grammar tense, present perfect. We spoke about present perfect a couple of classes ago, but today we're going to focus on for and since. How about these two pictures? How about the first one? Bernice, what is the first picture?
Climbing.
Climbing. What kind of climbing is this?
Rock climbing.
But not necessarily rock climbing. I think this is like wall climbing. Because rock climbing will be, let's say, if you go in the mountain, right? But this is like inside. They have like a wall in a room, and then they start climbing it because it has like little things that you can hold on. Okay, that's good. Chung, how about the second picture?
Rafting.
Okay. So water sports are good for someone who likes a little bit of challenge and a lot of adrenaline, because it has like, you know, with the falls of the water and stuff like with the waves, it could be very interesting. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the text about Ben, and then we're going to work on with the grammar a bit. So let's read it. We're having 4 paragraphs for each one of us, 1 paragraph. Let's start with Esther. You start first.
I live in the city, and during the week I go to a place called Adventure Zone. There are lots of things you can do there. They have indoor rock climbing, surfing, and kayaking. I go indoor climbing every week.
Perfect. Bernice, you're next.
I began climbing last year with my sister. We are going on holiday in France and we make some new friends. We were mountain climbers and we joined them. We had an awesome time. When we got home, my sister and I wanted to go more climbing. That's when we found Adventure Zone, which has an indoor climbing wall.
Perfect. Thank you. Chung, number 3 for you.
The wall has easy climb and hard climb. You practice on this easy part first, then as you get stronger, you can try the more difficult ones. I have improved a lot since I began, and now I can climb most of the wall easily.
Thank you. I've lived in this town for 5 years, and at first I thought it was really boring. But I didn't know about Adventure Zone. Now I think I live in the best place. It's awesome. So, what kind of hobbies does Ben have? Chung.
Can you repeat?
What kind of hobbies does Ben have?
Climbing.
Okay, sweetie, even though that is the correct answer, but it's not good the way you are giving it to me. Because look, my question is very long and your answer is super short, and that's not nice. So let's give it a go one more time. What kind of hobbies does Ben have?
The hobby of is climbing.
Okay, Ben likes to do climbing. Okay. Actually, you know what I'm going to ask you to do now? You're having this text and I want you to create 5 questions about this text. Like I asked you the first one, okay? Like I did with the first one, I want you to write 5 questions about the text. You don't have to answer them. I just want you to create the questions. You can use past simple, you can use present. It depends on the sentence you want to ask. However, let's practice how to make some questions. So please make 5 questions about this. Raise your hand when you're ready. You can even text them in the chat box for me if it's easy that for you so I can see them. And after that, we will check them out. Okay, sweetie, Chung, your questions are, would you like to try? Okay, your questions are very general. You were supposed to make questions about the text, guys. So you were supposed to make 5 questions about this. Adventure Zone. When did you begin to climb? Why you found Adventure Zone? What kind of walls does Adventure Zone have? What do you do every week? How long do you live in this town? Okay. Where did Ben go last week? When did Ben begin to start climbing? How many years Ben lived in the town at first? Who wanted to do more climbing after they got home? What activities they have in Adventure Zone? Okay, Bernice, very well. I like your questions. Just a couple of mistakes. Where did Ben go last week? When did Ben begin? Okay, Esther, questions are okay. Okay, all right, so I'm going to give you a short break. Once we are back, we're going to go through the text again and just find which grammar tense we have before we continue to something else. And we're going to have some speaking today, obviously. So make sure in the next 5-6 minutes, you go to the toilet, get some water, whatever you need to, come back here and we will continue. Okay, girls, when you're back, please turn on your camera. Thank you, Bernice. And Chung, Esther doesn't have a camera today. Okay, cool. So let's go through the text and just see a couple of important things about the text. First of all, previously, we've spoke about the present perfect tense, right? We know how we are making it. Now let's see some of the sentences over here. I live in the city and during the week, I go to a place called Adventure Zone. Over here, this sentence is in present tense because we have live, go, right? We have in present tense. There are lots of things you can do there. Again, this is present tense. They have indoor rock climbing, surfing, and kayaking. I go indoor climbing every week. Have is in present tense and go is in present tense. Now, the next one is past. It says, I began climbing last year with my sister. We were on holiday in France and we made some new friends. They were mountain climbers and we joined them. We had an awesome time. When we got home, my sister and I wanted to do more climbing. That's when we found Adventure Zone, which has an indoor climbing, so has is in the present, climbing wall. The wall has easy climbs and hard climbs. You practice on the easy parts first. Practice is present. As you get stronger, you can try the more difficult ones. I have improved. Now this is a different grammar tense. A lot since I began. Began is in the past tense. And now I can climb. Climb is in present. Most of the wall easily. I have lived in this town for 5 years and at first I thought past, it was really boring, but I didn't know past about Adventure Zone. Now I think I live in the best place. So you can see that in this blog, we're having three grammar tenses, okay? So is this good to combine them? Yes, however, it depends how you're creating the story. Because the boy first started with talking about now his current situation. He says, I live in the city, okay? So he's saying us about now, what kind of things he has been doing now. Then in the second paragraph, he's describing when were his first attempts or his first try to do some climbing, okay? After that, he explains a little bit that first, if you're a beginner, you have to start small, and then once you get improved, then obviously you can do the wall much easier. And then at the end, he says, I've lived in this town for 5 years. Now, my question for you is, actually, I need to change that color to something else. 4. Does this mean that the boy still lives there or he doesn't? Does he still live there or he doesn't? Esther, what do you think?
Live there now.
He still lives there. Okay, so let me write you 2 examples over here. I have been living in London for 6 years. For 6 years. I moved to London since I'm 37, 31, since I was 31. So when we want to use for, we exactly need to know for how many years or how long, right? But when I want to use since, I'm going to say since 2000 and maybe I can fix this, since 2016. Now, when I'm using since, I'm telling this time actually when this started happening, but I'm not saying that I've been living for 2016 years, right? So when you're going to use for, you're going to have to say the amount of time, okay? How long have you been done something? Have you been doing something? Depends on the sentence, right? However, when you want to use since, you have to say from when. Since June, I've been on a diet since last year. I've been living, oh, I have London F, I'm sorry, that's a mistake. I have been studying English for 2 years. I have been studying English since 2020, for example. So it's a different way how we're using for and since. Let's practice this together. It's actually super easy. I'm just gonna go over here. Okay, so let's take a look. I've lived in this town for 5 years. I have improved a lot since I began. Now the first one, number 1 says, we use for with the present perfect to do what? To talk about a period of time or to say when something started? Bernice, what do you think?
Talk about a period of time.
Perfect, a period of time, because we already said that. So 1 is A. We use since with the present perfect to talk about perfect to say when something started. So remember, since started, for period of time. Next exercise is easy, but let's see. I have known my best friend for 3 years. Chung, how about number 2?
We have had the same sailing boat since
2005.
2005.
Good, same, thank you. Esther, number 3.
My dance partner has been away for weeks.
4 weeks, good job. 4 weeks. Bernice, number 4.
The riding school has been closed since June.
Since June, very well. Chung, the last one.
My friend and I haven't been on a snowboarding holiday for a long time.
For a long time, very well. For a long time. It's super easy, right? This way it's super easy. Now with exercise 5, you need to tell me, you need to make some sentences that are true for you. So for example, I have known my best friend for how many years? My family have lived here since, and so on. So write these answers about you. We're going to check them out and we will continue. Okay, Bernice, you can read yours, please.
I have known my best friend for 9 years. My family have lived here since 2009. I have had these shoes for 2 months. I haven't had anything to eat since 6 o'clock. I have been at this school for 3 years.
Good, thank you. Chung, you're next.
I have known my best friend for 6 years. My family have lived here since 2008. I have had these shoes for 2 months. I haven't had any to eat since this morning. I have been at this school for 2 years.
Okay, perfect. Esther, are you ready?
Yes,
Yes, go on.
I have known my best friend for 9 years. My family have been here since 2002. I have had these shoes for 1 year. I haven't had anything to eat since 1 hour ago. I have been at this school for 4 years.
Okay, perfect. Very well. Good job, girls. Excellent. So I think it's very easy, right? When you use for, when you use since. I think it's super easy. Now, let's do a little bit of speaking. So basically, let me just open the file over here. So now what we're going to do is, where did I put the file? 1 second. Okay, here it is. Okay, so because it's only 3 of you, I was thinking maybe I could divide you in a breakout room so you can practice over there, but this is also okay. I'm gonna start with Esther and Bernice first to talk about this picture over here. And then I'm going to change Chung. I'm gonna include Chung and I'm gonna exclude someone else. However, I'm going to change the page. Now, maybe not this one. Maybe you can start with, hold on, is this the same one? Oh, I have it twice, my mistake. Okay, so we are going to go, we're gonna start with this one over here. Phase 1 is the part when you're going to talk together with your friends. Here's some pictures that show different holidays. Do you like these different types of holidays? Say why or why not. So Esther and Bernice, I want you to talk about these different pictures about holiday. Be creative with the questions. You can ask a little bit personal questions. It's pretty much up to you.
Do you like holiday?
Holidays.
Holidays.
Yes, I like it.
So sweetie, if the question is, do you like holidays? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
And then you can ask, how about you? That's okay.
How about you?
Yes, I also like holidays. Where do you like the most? Where do you go on holiday the most?
I usually go to travel to other place at holiday. Do you like to go to the beach?
Yes, I do. I always go to the beach with my family and we will having a picnic at there. Do you like to go to the museum on holiday?
No, I don't like it. I always watch the play museum at the television only. Do you like to go hiking?
No, I don't. I don't like to hiking because I think it is boring and I think it is hard for me. I will prefer more to having some to having a lunch or getting out with my friends. How about you? Do you go out with your friends on family and with family or friends?
I always go out with my family during the holiday. How about you?
Yes, I go out with my family or friends sometimes. Um, especially on weekend, I will having a lunch with my friends on Sunday, and we will having some girls talk at there. Do you like to go some different places? Uh, or do you like to go on a trip with an a plane or with car?
By a plane?
A plane or a car?
By car, sweetie? By car?
By a plane or by car?
I always go to other place by plane because it is more convenient. Do you like to go to have barbecue with your family or friend at holiday?
Do you want to have a barbecue?
Do you want to have a barbecue with your family or friend when during holiday?
Yes, I usually having a barbecue at home with my family, and with eating the barbecue, we will talking and we will watching the TV. How about you? Where do you having barbecue with your family?
Uh, I always having barbecue with my family at the backside of my house. Uh,
Okay, that was good. That was good. Thank you. Let's change the picture. We're going to go with this one, talking about different places to eat. Now we're going to include Esther and Jung. Bernice will take a rest.
Do you prefer it out or it at home?
sorry, can you repeat?
Do you prefer to eat it out or eat at home?
I prefer to eat at home with my family. How about you?
I also prefer to eat at home. How often do you eating it out with your family or friends?
I usually eat at outside with my family on weekend. Do you uh, eat with your friend at outside?
Can you repeat?
Do you like to eat with your friend at outside?
Yes, I do. I usually go out with my friend at Saturday. But have you tried picnic?
Yes, I have tried have picnic before. A few years ago with my family at the beach. Do you like to go to fast food restaurant?
I sometimes will go to fast food restaurant with my friend. How about you?
I will go to fast food restaurant. Uh, I will go to fast food restaurant with my family.
What festival will your family go eat out?
Can you repeat?
What festival will your family eating out?
We will go out to eat when Chinese New Year or someone have birthday. Do you often go outside to eat?
No, I'm not. How about you?
I also not often to go outside to eat.
Where do you like the most to eat?
I like the most is at Chinese restaurant. Uh, I prefer the Chinese food. Do you talk with chatting with your friend or family when you eat with them?
Yes, of course. What do you like best in fast food restaurant?
I like the most is burger and friend.
Okay, good job. You're not just going to say I like the most is, but you're going to say I like the most burgers, or I like burgers the most. Usually when we want to say something that we like the most must come at the end of the sentence. So I like burgers the most. Okay, very well. Now we're going to let Esther to relax, and we're going to go back with Bernice and Chung talking about sports.
What sport do you prefer to?
Sorry, can you repeat?
What sport do you prefer to play?
I prefer to do yoga because I think I didn't like the extreme sport. I like the relaxed one. How about you?
I prefer to play basketball. Do you think cycling is the extreme sport?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Do you think cycling is the extreme sport?
Yes, I think it's the extreme sport. Because I think cycling is quite harder for me. Uh, Cycling need use more energy to ride to cycling it. Which sports do you prefer? Uh, Ping pong or football?
I prefer to play table tennis. How about you?
Yeah, me too. I think maybe table tennis is more easier than the football.
If
When when do you start to playing basketball?
I start playing basketball when I am 10 years old. How about you? Did you try playing basketball?
Yes, sometimes sometimes I play with my friends at school, but I'm quite bad in basketball. How many years did you play the table tennis?
I have played table tennis about 4 years. Uh, did you try playing tennis?
Yes, I think it is interesting and it is easier than basketball for me. Uh, yeah. How about you? Do you ever try to play football?
Have you ever tried, sweetie? Have you ever tried?
Have you ever tried to play football?
No, I'm not. Because I think football is dangerous than basketball. How about you?
Yes, I also never tried before, but I think I will try it in the future.
Do
Do
you
you um, do you when do you started to cycling bicycle?
when I'm 4 years old, I start to cycling bicycle. Do you prefer to cycling basketball or jogging?
For me, I doesn't like to cycling.
Sweetie, I don't like.
I don't like to cycling.
I don't like cycling.
I don't like cycling because I think it's very hard and tired. I prefer some sports that are uh, doesn't extreme. Do you like running?
No, I'm dislike running.
Okay, girls, no problem. I think you did quite well. I just want us to do one exercise before I let you go. It will be about present perfect with since and for. I'm going to send you the link. Let me just share my screen with you. Okay, so we're going to do this exercise because obviously we know present perfect, but we also know that we need to use since and for. So I'm going to customize the link for you. We're having KET. Okay, and let's see. Be very careful with the answers. Okay, here it is. So with the first exercise, you need to choose either it's going to be since or for when you're choosing the correct answer. So let's say the first one will be since 10 o'clock. The second exercise over here, you also need to choose if it's going to be since or for. Then with the next one, you need to change the verb within present perfect. And then you're going to have to put since or for as well. And then in the last exercise over here, you're having the same thing. So let's finish these exercises and we just have enough time. And I'm going to give you something for homework and that's it. Okay, so Esther and Jung are ready. Let's see, Jung, how many mistakes she has. Okay. Esther, probably one mistake. Over here, you're having a positive sentence, really, not a negative one. Are divorced, not haven't divorced. Jung, since Christmas. For 1 month, since my birthday. For ages. Okay, has been over here. Since, over here you got since. Have been. The poor animal is very hungry. It hasn't. Hasn't, not have. Have been divorced. Okay. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. And Bernice, since Christmas, since my birthday. Okay, over here we have a little bit more mistakes. Okay, so what do we have for the first one? Our family. What are we going to put here? What are we going to put here? How are we going to change the verb?
Have.
Okay. Take a look at what Esther has done. So she used has all the time. So guys, make sure when you're having the third person that you're going to use has. And when you have the other person doing an action, you're going to go with have. Okay, super important that is. Okay, perfect, good. So when we talk about present perfect tense, I send you a link for your homework. Let me share it over here as well. Where did I put it now? Oh, here it is. So for your homework, you're gonna have to do some writing, okay? But the writing is, yes, the writing is about an email. You have to answer to this email. So the email says, end of year party. I'd like our class to have a party to celebrate the end of the school year. We could either have a party in the classroom or we could go to the park. Which would you prefer to do? What sort of activities or games should we do during the party? What food do you think we should have at the party? Reply soon, Anna Lake. Now on the side over here, you're having some suggestions that you need to follow basically. So over here with the beginning, you need to say, well, great, you have to agree with it. Then within the second one, the second sentence is actually a question where you need to answer the question. However, you also need to explain something. Then you're having another question, but over here, you need to suggest something. Maybe we can go here or maybe we can go there. And then at the end, you need to say what kind of food should you have for the party. Does that mean that either one of you is going to take a food at home from home and bring it to the party, or you're going to collect some money to buy something for your friends? It's up to you. Obviously, it will be your email. Now pay attention. It says that you need to do 100 words. I don't really care how many words you're going to do for this one, because this is actually a task for PET. It's not for you. However, one of the tasks for you to write an email is also in the writing test. So that's why I want you to do this. Okay, so don't worry about the words, but make sure you're just answering the questions with all the vocabulary that you know so far. Okay, should be easy. All right, so now let me change my screen. We have a couple of minutes before I let you go. So today, yes, here it is. So today we did quite a lot of things. We started talking about hobbies, different kind of hobbies. What do we like to do, what we don't like to do, and so on. We did a little bit of listening tasks. Now, guys, I want you to think about it. If there's something that you don't understand, as I said, I first want us to finish all the book with Unit 14. Okay, so once we finish with Unit 14, up until here, 105, we will do revision. So we're going to do a kind of a trial test again, and we're going to practice the grammar and, of course, the speaking and the writing, because I want you to feel comfortable with the current level. I think you're doing great, but of course there are certain mistakes that you're still making, and we just want to make sure that we can fix that as much as we can. So Unit 13 is all about hobbies and different kind of activities you can do. As I said, so far we've covered for and since with present perfect tense. I want you to practice this grammar tense and possibly to use it in your writing, not necessarily with the email now. Remember, the second task is optional to you, right? Actually, no, the second one is where you need to write the story. So you can use for and since in the story, and therefore you're going to raise your points. You're going to achieve higher marks. And this is what we want to do, okay? When it comes to speaking, yes, of course, you can always use better or a little bit complex grammar, so it can help you to achieve better scores. That's the goal. However, when it comes to the writing part, as I said, we need to practice how to do the stories. Remember, when we're doing the email, we go with present tense. When we're doing the story, we're going to go with past tense. So we're going to practice both of them because I want you to feel comfortable with them. As I said before, we will have a lot of writing, a lot of listening from now on. I mean, we've had a lot during this year. I must say that I gave you so many homeworks to do, and during the class, we've been doing all of these activities. However, if there is something that you really don't understand, you're having problems with, if you just find it very challenging, if you feel shy to say this in front of the class, please feel free to text me in WhatsApp, okay? So you can text me, you can say to me, I'm sorry, teacher, I am not feeling comfortable with speaking, I'm not feeling comfortable with asking questions and so on. So we can work on it, okay? Because once you're gonna do your exam, and you're just going to have a friend next to you, right? And you're going to have to feel comfortable with that student next to you, because you're going to have to ask them questions. And if you feel like you're a little bit shy, or you're thinking you're going to make mistakes, most likely you will make a mistake, because this is what you're thinking, and we don't want that. So think about it during the week. As I said, I'm trying to finish all the 14 units and the last 2 classes. We're just going to do revision, just to make sure that we are going to cover everything. Now, do you have any questions maybe? No questions? Okay. Well, in case if you have a question, you know always where to find me. Just text me and I will reply to you. I might not going to reply right away because we're in a different time zone, but definitely I will reply to you. Cool. Thank you so much for coming to class today. You're having a homework to do. Please do it. And I'm going to see you in 7 days. Bye, everyone.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.